right. So I'm gonna be right back. Got some stuff I gotta do. No monologue, sorry. YouTube bonus, I guess. Uh, I doubt anyone's gonna see this, but I do want to apologize to a commenter on YouTube because I did delete a comment to one of my posts that had to do with religion. It is not that commenter's fault. I started it because in the because I have stream of conscious monologues when I stream, as I'm sure you've seen if you've seen enough of my videos. And at some point in one of them, I do start chatting about religion to the folks in the chat and so on. And this person chimes in the YouTube comments, which is perfectly understandable. They didn't say anything inappropriate. And initially, I even replied to kind of discuss it further. Not their fault, as I said. The thing is, then I thought about it and was like, I'm not really sure I want to have this discussion on YouTube. Uh, no offense. Like I said, that commenter was fine. I've had very positive experiences with most YouTube commenters. No question about that. But, well, there's a reason every time I find a new streamer that I like to watch online, my first thing is to go, please don't be a Nazi, please don't be a Nazi, please don't be a Nazi. There's a lot of awful hate in YouTube comments, and I really didn't want to have a discussion about comparative religion there, where God knows who could jump in after the fact and say something truly hateful. So that was why. I don't know if anyone's gonna bother watching this, and it's perfectly okay if you don't, but I thought an explanation was warranted. So, unfortunately, I don't know of a way to DM someone on YouTube, or I'd have sent a message about that. So yeah, sorry, YouTube commenters. If it's not that I wouldn't like to chat with you about it, and like if you ever want to come to my Discord, that's perfectly fine. Drop me a line with your email, and I'll happily send the Discord address to you. But but it's not something I'm comfortable with in the YouTube comment section. So yeah, that's kind of the way it is. Sorry. It's a weird boundary, I know, but there we go. So, God damn it, I have that fucking espresso song in my head. Because I was watching Masked Singer with my parents, and it's just kind of a thing we do. After now that Frog Pond Academy's on hiatus, I can watch it. I'd rather play Frog Pond, to be honest with you, but it's a pretty funny show. And one of the people sang that espresso song by Sabrina Carpenter, and I keep hearing that on the radio, and it just kind of echoes in my head. It's that do 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 part that only it's more twangy, like synthesizer. I don't know. It's annoyingly catchy. I I hate it, but it's still in there in my head. So there we go. So if I start humming it during stream, that's why. And I hate it too that I'm doing it, but I might well do it. Unless something else gets in my head that's worse. Always possible. All right. So other news is I've started playing Final Fantasy 14 again. Um, yeah, I didn't really stop. Well, I did. I would pop on for seasonal events, and that's about it. Speaking of, I got to do the current one. I like the outfit. But I didn't really do anything with it besides that for a while, and part of the reason is really stupid. Part of the reason is because, when I changed my computer, I didn't think to upload my settings, and so when I came back, all of my gear sets and everything, all of them were fucked, and I was like, "I don't have the energy to do them all again." But I finally went onto my old computer and finally, like, saved the file for them. And so now I have everything set up properly again, and it's amazing how different that is for me in terms of playing. It actually motivated me to play, and now I'm playing again. I am still in between ARR and Heaven's Word. I have played before, so I know it gets better. And actually, I don't hate this part of A Realm Reborn. It's slow, but I like A Realm Reborn because you're very ordinary in it still. You haven't, I mean, you've got one, you definitely have one thing under your chest that's really good, heroically. Sorry, I'll be right there. I'm fucking with my phone. Um, and that's nice, of course. But you aren't quite the legendary God Slayer over and over again yet. So, kind of like how my favorite expansion that I played, and to be fair, had not finished Shadowbringers when I played, and not because Shadowbringers was bad. I really enjoyed what I'd played of it, but real life had gotten in the way and so on at the time with my other character. And so I decided to start fresh one instead. I really like Stormblood because you're comparatively or like you're not ordinary. I mean, you're clearly in there as the big guns, but it's other people's story. It's Lisa's story, and I love Lise. I don't know why people dislike Lise. I feel like they just don't like oh, I clicked the wrong fucking thing. There I go. One sec. I think they just well, I could show you my stupid retainer collection. Nah. One day I'll run out of content and that'll be my what I post. I think that people just don't like Lise because they don't like that they're not the main character part of the story. I honestly think that's the issue. Like it's Lisa's story, it's Tien's story, it's not your story in that part. And I think it's great. I think it's great that they're doing this without you. You help. You are a big part of it because of your firepower and everything like that. But this is their quest, and I really do appreciate that. I like that. All right, where did I leave off? Stripped a town and a girl. Oh yeah, because we were leaving the town. Keep like every so often I see people who are like, well, I liked her much better as Ida. And look, I play, I played my current character. I played as a Gridanian, or starting in Gridania. So I've seen the most of the plot with Ida so far, Ida and Papalimo. Has got no. She gets some good lines, which Lise also has, but it's not like she's got a really substantial character beat anywhere. It's nothing that's really differentiates from Lise. It's the same character just without a mask, uh, in my opinion. So there you go. Let's talk to this kid.
Hello!
I like the barbarian. He has kind eyes. Well, that's good. Actually, have I talked to you? I know I talked to you about some of this. Age. Okay. I like those conversation topics, actually. Devastating waits for no man or woman. I do like the barbarian. He's fun.
I greet you.
Hurry up, Nate. Do what the tribesman says. We have to leave before the Yeti horde arrives. Fair. Okay.
Wait, what can I get you?
Have you finished your business? We need to leave. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to the Targos docks. Okay. And there are people here to talk to. Someone's coming up to us. Oh, journal has been updated. Let's see what the journal update says. Yetis at the gates. You left Bremen behind. The town is overrun by Yetis, and for now, you must focus your attention elsewhere. So what else do we got? Kanuki's homecoming. You've been joined by an ancient barbarian priest named Kanuki. Or prince, I'm sorry. I said priest, I meant to say prince. He is a priest, though. Until recently, Kanuki lived on the sea of moving ice. But he's come to 10 towns to warn the people of the evil that approaches and lend help where he can. And the masked lady. You learned of a mysterious masked lady of the lake, who was first sighted at the beginning of the year, floating above Mare Dweldon. Bodies began washing up shortly after. Could this be a coincidence, or might it be related to the events that have befallen you? You should seek more information about the masked lady as and when the opportunity arises. Okay. Alright, so let's see, I'm still kind of half health. Alright. Let's see who there is to talk to. There I am. I'm somewhat injured. There's a Bremen refugee. There's more Bremen refugees. We've got the ship. We've got some direction. Anyone with a name? Ah, there's someone named Lucy. Oh, the darn dog. Right. There's Damon and Lara. That's the lady who found me. That's the kid, as I recall. I'm not seeing... Oh, and there's a Captain Halder up there, as well as an angry refugee. Okay, so that looks notable. Alright, alright. I'm Sam Papalima dies. Oh shit, that's a spoiler. Sorry. I don't remember a lot of it though, so it's interesting to see what I don't remember versus what I do. Now I've forgotten half of A Realm Reborn because it's been a while, but you know, that's just intro.
Good tidings to ya.
Going to Miss Brenneman. My dad was a fisherman there, and his dad before him, but it's not safe anymore. I don't know what Damon and I are going to do now. We've little coin, and there's no work here. Yeah, let's do it. I'm a paladin. I want to give you something, for saving my life. Lara's eyes go wide in surprise. Are you serious? I never expected such generosity from an outsider. Actually, forget it. Now let's give her 10 gold. Really? That's mighty generous of you. I'll be able to rent us a room for a month with this. Sometimes it's funny to compare adventurer's coin with what wages actually are in the town. Come on, Damon. Thanks to Stephen, we'll have a warm roof over our heads tonight.
Aha!
Oh, thanks.
Yay!
Oh, I forgot to say on my Discord that I'm on. I should probably do that. I am so bad at Discord. And it's funny that I only really started doing it after I stopped being an affiliate. Well, I was never really good at monetizing shit anyway. There we go. Alright. Alright. Aw, wow, thanks, Stephen. You're the best. Thank you, David. You're nice people. And your dog. That is a cute dog. I don't like that you can't pet the dog. That is the one thing. We should be able to pet the dog. I've got 2 cats in Final Fantasy. Alright, I'm going to stop talking about Final Fantasy, mostly because I'm actually doing a boring thing right now. I am leveling my crafters to level 30 before I move on with the plot, because I realized I really just want to be able to desynth stuff. And then I promptly desynth something I didn't want to desynth the recruits tools, because you can't get them anywhere else except as the quest reward really early on. I'd wanted to keep those, and I actually accidentally desynth one. Ah, that's okay. They're not, like, terribly unique, as far as I know. And if they are, fuck it, I fucked it up anyway. I'll get plenty of other tools.
Bugger off!
Ah,
It'll
here we
be a
go.
blade for your backside elsewise.
What are you glaring at? It's not my fault our entire town was swallowed by an unnatural snowstorm. You'd have fled too if you'd seen the blue-skinned maniac leading his army through the blizzard. That sounds interesting.
No.
Huh, that's exactly the kind of cowardly talk I'd expect from you Tourmaline gem hoarders. As soon as the going gets tough, you flee here. The people of Targos would never run away from a few goblins and trolls and a bit of unseasonable snow. Oh yeah, Targosians are kind of dicks. Oh, shut your pie hole, will you? It's all very well, you Targosians hiding behind your walls. Strange how the dire winter only affected Tourmaline. Now Bremen has been invaded by Yetis. Convenient for you lot, huh? No competition out on the lakes. Okay, they're both kind of idiots right now. Just what are you trying to say? You Targosians already take more than your share of the lake's fish. Wouldn't surprise me if you were responsible for this dire winter over Tourmaline. Maybe hired the blue-skinned shaman. Got him to summon a blizzard and destroy our boats to boot. It's outrageous, you son of a troglodyte. I'll smash your teeth in.
Hey, hold on here a minute.
Oh, I didn't actually see that she was a woman. Now I see from her silhouette she is. Enough. Fighting amongst ourselves is the last thing we should be doing. Battle of Icewind Dale was not so long ago that we've forgotten the lessons it taught us. We are 10 townsfolk, and we stick together. Calm it down before I'm forced to arrest someone. Okay. I like it. Guards captain's words seemed to diffuse the situation. The angry Targosian and his counterpart from Tourmaline quickly settle down and soon after depart. So there's definitely some tension in the town. I can understand that. It's
Oi, what can
probably
I
a
get
desperate
ya?
situation. I heard that Legion of Chimera destroyed Targos decades ago. Interesting. What's that?
Good business to ya.
Greetings.
It's just lucky it's almost summer. This cold would be fatal instead of unbearable. Summer? Oh, jeez. Icewind Dale.
What?
Heard there's something called an abominable Yeti that's more than twice the size of the regular ones. Yeah, I killed him, and then I stripped a girl.
Hey, what?
Alright.
I greet you.
Yep, alright. Nothing new.
Hey there.
Greetings.
Wasn't expecting it to be so crowded here. I mean, that's fair. Alright, so there's Haldor with some guards. We Looks like we got more refugees. I'm wondering if they'll say anything different.
Welcome to you.
Oh, yeah, they will. The blue-skinned shaman who led the invasion of Tourmaline spoke of something called the Walking Winter.
I greet you.
Hacker Kessel. Now this, it never seems to end. He was kind of a
Something
fuckhead.
I can do for you?
I think my biggest fear until recently was that I wouldn't have enough fish to sell. Now I probably won't have a home left. Oh,
Hello.
alright. Alright, and Lonelywood refugees. Okay.
Hello to you.
I wonder what Regis would do.
Well
Probably steal
met.
shit.
Greetings.
I think I'll head back to Lonelywood soon. Can't take another hour in the cold.
Greetings to you.
This place is huge, not like little Lonelywood.
Greetings.
My neighbor lost his mind. It's like he's sleepwalking while he's awake.
Do business to you.
Alright, so I'm not going to talk to every single one. I probably
Well
should.
met.
But I'm
Greetings
not
to
going to speak with the captain.
Greetings.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to have to wander about a bit more, but I think maybe talking with the captain would be a good idea. So I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to wander and see what I can see. Okay, so that goes up there.
Greetings to you.
Doesn't look like any of the doors open. I do like that they don't open because sometimes they are kind of a distraction. Though I do also like stealing loot. It would be kind of bad roleplay if I did that as a paladin, I suspect. Okay, so it looks like going up there is a possibility. And going down here is as well. So let's take a look. Okay, I don't want to trigger a plot though. So, okay, it looks like here is a place to explore and around here. Let's save. Damn it! Stop it. I hate that song.
Pleasure to see you.
I would suggest you get yourself somewhere warm, if you've the coin. We've sealed the gates until the council has decided what to do next. Nowhere outside Targos is safe. Who are you? I'm Captain Halder, head of the Targos Guard. We're the only town outside of Bryn Shander big enough to have a standing force. Didn't think I'd be overseeing a mass influx of refugees when I dragged my ass out of bed this morning. But here we are. Tell me about the Battle of Icewind Dale. Surely you've heard of it. Hekar Kessel, the Crystal Shard. To make a long story short, an evil wizard found a powerful artifact and used it to raise a monstrous army to conquer 10 towns. He didn't succeed. Whoever's behind this recent troubles won't either. Tell me about the troubles. Are you deaf? Did you not hear those idiots? Tourmaline has been invaded by monsters, led by a blue-skinned shaman, and is now half buried under a magical snowstorm. Bremen is under attack by yetis. Some strange malaise plagues the folk of Lonelywood. Okay, so let's talk about each one. Tell me more about Bremen. Didn't you just get off a boat from Bremen? It's a small fishing town, barely more than a village. Several elk tribe barbarians used to live there, but they left a while back. It's a shame. They could probably have fought off a few hungry yeti. Probably. Tell me about Tourmaline. Tourmaline's probably the prettiest of the 10 towns, but don't let the average Targosian hear you say that. We have a bit of rivalry over fishing rights. Right now it's buried under a magical snowstorm and swarming with monsters. What about Lonelywood? It's the northernmost of the 10 towns, huddled in the shadow of a forest with the same name. Recent arrivals from Lonelywood speak of a strange maleficence in the town, ever since the Witch of the Wood showed up. Huh. The Witch of the Wood. I'm looking for the Masked Lady of the Lake. Might they be the same person? Lots of alliteration, at least. Witch of the Wood, Lady of the Lake. It's possible, I suppose. Either way, you won't be going to Lonelywood anytime soon. Targos is under lockdown until further notice. Let's talk about something else. Make it quick. I don't mean to be rude, but I have hundreds of refugees to organize. I mean, that's fair. Tell me about Targos' council. Targos is big enough to host a real council, rather than just a single speaker. They love nothing more than to argue, but ultimately Kemp gets the final say on matters affecting Targos as a whole. Alright. I could say I can look after myself, but I'm just going to say farewell. Godspeed to you. Please go about your business. Alright. So, I guess we can wander about a bit more. Save after the dialogue. I don't want to go through that all again. Let's see what we have over here. Let's go north. Well, actually it looks like south is the smaller area. Let's go south first. So I feel like this area probably connects. Of course, I might be wrong. Maybe it all canoes. I've been wrong before. So there's some Pergo scenes over here, it looks like. Let's talk to them.
day.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
Hello.
They're very friendly here. Kemp is kind of a dick. Wolf's Pelt Inn. So that's probably going to be somewhere we're going to want to go. But let's see about the whole town
Greetings.
first. Probably strange events aren't the work of Crescinaban. Could be. I think Jarlaxo gets the shard at some point. Hello, Taco Loco 78. How are you? I don't think there's really an everyone here right now. I think it's just us. That's okay. Some folks are really good with an audience. To be honest with you, I'm not really. Not much of a showman. There's a bakery. Ooh, can I go inside? I cannot. Rats. So my current plague, as I was saying before, is that I currently have Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso in my head, which is because of the Masked Singer. I don't know, and the problem is, sometimes I can get things out of my head by just singing it badly, but I don't know enough of the words. So I only know like a half of a verse or so. So it's just like that part's the part that's running through my head. Well, I can't open that. Vesper Grey. That seems like a person's name. Let's talk to her.
Greetings and well met.
You. I know you. At least I've heard of you. A paladin by your description has made widows of more Luskanites than my own father. I should melt into the shadows and get as far from you as possible. Yet, I'm intrigued. Who are you? I'm the shadow, in which nothing good or godly will ever grow. Some would say the same of my father and mother, but I'm not one to judge. I'm Vesper Grey, daughter of the pirate Blacksand Grey, and the shade of Wellfleet, Marsarai Grimshaw. Marsarai Grimshaw. Tripping over the name. Tell me more about your parents. My father died before I was born. One sec. My father died before I was born. Blacksand, his ship, the Widowmaker, and his entire 149-man crew were pulled down to a watery grave just past the witching hour of High Harvestide Eve by a violent storm off the coast of the City of Sails. My mother, Merceria Grimshaw, known as the Shade of Wellfleet, stood on the shore and saw the Widowmaker go under, making one final widow and taking all chance of her happiness with it. But my father gave her one last gift, a sorry one to be sure, for I was born 6 months later. Is that an original model? I'd assume so. The storm still rages yet in my heart. Though I don't sail the churning seas like my father, his pirate heart beats within me. My mother's pale hand beckons me onward to the path I've chosen. I dance to the Song of Shadows. Many a man pays for that dance, the few do willingly. What have you heard about me? You're the hero of Neverwinter, are you not? You led the defense of the city of skilled hands against Luskin's armies. I was not a part of that doomed war. The men and women who returned to Luskin told stories of your prowess. The surviving High Captain would pay dearly to see your head on a spike. Hello, Lilith Hobo. Do you intend to kill me? Me? No. I have no wish to die this day. Besides, if I were to attack you, it would be from the shadows, before you knew I was coming. Well, I mean, I'm a paladin. She kind of seems like a poor fit. Huh. But, I mean, I haven't had any other takers besides... So maybe we will. Let's go through the parent monologue again. I could use you in my party. Ah, too bad. An interesting offer. Most unexpected. However, I work best alone. If Targos were to come under a direct threat from whatever evil stirs in the dale, I might consider lending you my blade. But for now, the answer is no. Okay, so Targos is going to be under threat pretty soon. Walk in the shadows. I can tell a plot point when I hear it. Targos will be under attack, and then we'll get a nice thief or assassin guild member. Thankfully, unlike Tabletop, and I'm actually not sure if that lasted past first edition anyway, I am not prevented from being in a group with an evil person, as far as I'm aware, or else Grimnaw and I would never have become friends, such as it is. Come to think about it, poor guy ended up dead anyway, but that wasn't me. Alright, now once we're done over here, I'm gonna go... Ooh, there's a chest. Well, that looks suspicious. Let's poke at it. I did get the DLC. I was very intrigued. I also... You know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna let him open it. It's out in public. It's not technically stealing. Finders keepers and all that. Oh, okay. I was on the Patreon when Luke Skull was making it, so I got to see some of the sneak peek before that, but then I forgot about it, and I wasn't expecting it to come out when it did, and I did not know he was going to make it a full-fledged DLC. But I have to say, it looks worthy of it. There seems to be a lot of production value and work put into it. Not to disparage any of the other modules I've played, which are also very, very good. But this definitely has a sort of pro quality going on, I feel. So it's fun. So far. I haven't gotten very far. I'm only in Targos now. Alright, so I stole an Alexandrite, which is probably bad role-playing, but we've established Steven's kind of a crap paladin. Ilmater wasn't really paying attention, I think, when Steven got graduated, and after that he just kind of sighed martyringly. You're working on a new character before you get the DLC? That makes sense. That makes sense. Steven was the one I took through the original campaign, my very first stream. Only this is Gamma plotline, because Alpha went through Erebeth's Revival, Beta went through Erebeth's Redemption, and Gamma is there. Sadly, Gamma doesn't get to have a romance like the others. Erebeth has apparently passed away. Okay, that's the inn, so I'm going to come back to that, because I feel like I want to explore the town a little bit more before I go into the inn. So what kind of character are you going to use for it, Lilith Lobo? Not that I can really give anybody advice on characters, let's be honest here. You've seen me build characters before, I think. I don't know what I'm doing. I've played this long enough, you'd think I'd have picked up something I have not. My talent is not in creating competent characters. Personalities I can do. Oh, you're going solo rogue? On hardest settings. Nice. I do not have the stamina for hardest settings, I'll be honest with you there. Sometimes. I think I've got to play... I keep thinking I'm going to play Sands of Fate, too. That one I was going to do with Vipsania. She's been retired for a while, but she was my Horde's character. Ah, this one opens. Oh no, it's locked. Well, we're not going to break in. I got no reason to break in. Oh, you wanted to make a ranger originally, but you want rogue instead? Sounds like fun. A lot of locked doors. So, as a paladin, I have no real reason to Stop it! Get out of my fucking way, dude. There we go. Clearly there's another way around that building, but still. Okay, that is one complaint, is that the city planning makes it a little hard to figure my way through here. It's probably realistic, because as I remember when I visited Lyon in France, it was kind of hard to find ways through different parts of the city, too. European cities are very, very narrow in a way that American cities are not. I suspect it's because American cities generally, I mean, the automobile is a fairly recent invention, admittedly, but even before then, we pretty much had carts and carriages for most of the lifespan of America. So I think we've always planned our cities out with that in mind. So you don't get these narrow streets and corridors much. And I can't remember how to get the fuck out of here. Okay, well that's... Oh, there's a crate though. Fuck. I clicked a crate and then I lost a... No, I don't want fucking Copilot. Thank you, Microsoft. I don't need an AI. Even the roads are tiny. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's what happens when you have roads that basically predate any kind of carriages or cars or anything. I don't know. I think that they may well have, well, probably not predated horses themselves, but, you know, different kind of history. Lovely, though. They're very lovely cities. I just, can't fucking... How, how the fuck did I get in here? How the fuck do I get out? Okay. Come on. We're gonna figure this out. Let's... Might need to tilt. No. Fuck. And my page down button's hidden somewhere. Okay. Yeah, that's not helpful. Thank you. I think there was like a tunnel or something I was in. Alright. Not the cart. Oh wait, maybe over here? Yep, okay. It's fucking like fucking Europe. Europe is a beautiful place. Don't let my French friend. What is my class? I'm playing a paladin, which is kind of funny because I'm also playing a paladin in Aeland Saga, which is what I was playing before this. But you know, I have to dance with the guy that brung me, and Stephen Lioness, the pantsless paladin. See, pantsless is the man who I played the original campaign with all those many years ago. So I had to take him. Also, I'm rather fond of him. What's this? Central Targos. Okay, so I don't think I'm ready to go into Central Targos. However the fuck you get over there? Oh, something's glowing. Oh, what's this? Oh, locked. Rats. Hello, Zerodine. How are you? Yeah, I'm not very good at playing a paladin, though, for what it's worth. It is just kind of funny that I'm playing two in a row. But to be fair, the Aeland paladin was because I played Blackguard right before then, and I kind of wanted to go something entirely opposite after, you know, murdering my way through Yartar multiple times. Those poor children. Oh well. I feel like I don't quite... I'm not sure I got everything over there, but I think I can always go back. Alright, let's go through the crowd. I've talked to Hulder. Speaker Gill does not seem to be around anywhere, so that's a shame. I'm doing well, Zerodine. I was just chatting earlier about I've resumed playing Final Fantasy XIV again, which is fun. I am doing a mundane thing of leveling all my crafters to 30 so I can do some shit. So it's kind of dull, but then I want to get my botanist. My botanist is at 50. I want to get my miner to 50 so that I'll be ready when we go into new areas. I like gathering classes. It's all the same guy. His name is Zaha Kimar. Zaha apostrophe A. I think that's silent, really. So Zaha Kimar. And he's a moon cat, because I wanted to play Catboy. And his name follows the moon cat traditions, the Miqo'te traditions for moon seekers of the moon, seekers of the sun, something like that. I can't remember. Warders of the moon, something. Where the boys get their mother's name with a suffix, so Zaha A, and I've named all of his retainers as though they're his brothers. There's Zaha To, who is actually his brother, and also a slightly blue-tinted mooncat. There's Zaha Lee, who is the third brother, who is actually a seeker of the sun girl cat, who I think they just kind of found when she ran away from her own family. The fourth brother is an Elysian elf from Ishgard, who is a refugee. I think he got kicked out. The fifth brother is an Alamegan refugee. The sixth brother, I haven't really done much with him yet. I believe is an Ora who washed up in Limsa Limensa at one point. Is the backstory for him. And the seventh brother is actually a female Vera. So she is the youngest brother, and all of those words are in quotation marks, because Vera are older than, are like elf-aged and such. So I think it's just funny. He just kind of collects people and just makes them his brothers, and And theoretically, maybe there's some legal protection there. Uh, Shadows of Undertide, Hordes of the Underdark. Ooh, let's read these. This lengthy tome chronicles the origin of the great hero who would one day be known as the Slayer of Mephistopheles. I did not slay Mephistopheles. I took over instead. In the small village of Hilltop, located in the Silver Marches, this will be fun. We're gonna take it as someone vastly mischaracterizing Vipsania's story. Maybe she did herself in the monastery. In the small village of Hilltop, located in the Silver Marches, the apprentice of the dwarven wizard Drogon studied alongside his fellow apprentices, Xanos Mesarmos, Dorna Trapspringer, and Misha Waymete. A group of kobolds raided the village, and Drogon was left poisoned and barely alive, and certain valuable artifacts were stolen from his laboratory. Soon after the attack, Ayala, an elven harper, arrived and used her magic to sustain Drogon. She revealed that she and Drogon were members of the Harper Order. Fucking Harpers. And that Drogon was assigned by the Harpers to guard 4 magical artifacts: the mummified hand of a dead lich, the tooth of a dragon, a mask which once belonged to a high priest of the Lord of Shadows, and a statue of a tower that was found in a desert tomb. Being Drogon's favorite apprentice, the dwarf placed his student in charge of recovering the artifacts. As the search progressed, it was discovered that a mage named Jana desired to collect the artifacts on behalf of a mysterious hooded woman whom she served. Desiring all of the artifacts, she had her gnolls attack the kobolds after they'd left Hilltop in order to try to take all of the artifacts for herself. Upon collection of all 4 artifacts, it was discovered that the tower statue contained a crystal of tremendous magical power. Drogon requested that the hero visit an archaeologist named Garrick, who was investigating some Netherese ruins, in the Anauroch, believing that he may be able to identify the crystal. Upon Drogon's request, his students set out Anauroch with a halfling caravan on the way to an encampment of Ao worshippers at which Garrick was located. Garrick revealed that the artifact was a mythallar, a crystal containing incredible magical energy akin to those that were used by the mages of the Netheril to levitate their flying cities. The student, too, this woman... Oh, the student took this woman to be the master of Jana. After entering these ruins, the student saw this woman travel through the portal. He also mentioned that he and a party of fellow archaeologists were exploring some ruins located in a certain Valley of the Winds, where they were attacked by a mysterious hooded woman who led a horde of demonic creatures who was trying to open some kind of portal. The hero takes this woman to be the master of Jana. Oh, there's a slight glitch there. See here? That should probably not... Okay, so there's like some cut and paste issues. That is probably not supposed to be there. So I think there was a cut and paste issue, like I said, because there's the after entering the ruins again, and the student took the woman to be. Yeah, that's out of place. Sometimes copy editing happens. Aside from the powers that be, maybe. Well, I mean, still, shit happens. Alright, anyway, after entering these ruins, the hero saw this woman travel through a portal, which disappeared soon after. At this point, Drogon used magic to teleport to the student's side, and aided in reactivating the portal. After the portal was reactivated, it was discovered that the woman had placed some kind of trap on it, which caused the ruins to collapse when triggered. Drogon used a magical shield to sustain the weight of the collapsing ruins long enough for the student to enter the portal, but Drogon was crushed soon afterwards. I think Vipsania was actually pretty sad about that. Vipsania was kind of interesting, because she was pretty fucking evil, and had a baby she carried around in her backpack, that she stole. But I do think she had some genuine feeling regarding Drogon, and the baby. Sort of. And I do think she genuinely regretted Drogon's death. After passing through the portal, the student emerged back in the desert, because I often find it more fun to play villains that have, like, that kind of connection. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's fun to play one that's got no emotional connection to anything at all, but There's the fucking dog is watching me from outside again. Hi. Go do your thing. Sorry. I live in the basement basically, and the one window is out where to the yard, and the dog sometimes comes up to look inside like a nosy little fucker. All right. Anyway. After passing through the portal, the student emerged back in the desert. This is a long book. And pursued the hooded woman to another area of the ruins. I don't know if we need this much detail, but it is good to remind me what happened. Upon confronting her, she removed her hood, revealing herself to be a Medusa. That has always been a bit of a pet peeve for me. Whenever they treat Medusa as the species name and not as the woman's name, she's a Gorgon. Medusa was the name of a particular Gorgon. I know, D&D. In D&D, the monster's called a Medusa. Fine. And used the Medusa's petrifying gaze to turn them to stone. While the student was in the state, the Gorgon took the Mythalar from them and identified herself as a powerful sorceress by the name of Eurydice, and claimed to have sought the Mythalar so she could use its powers to raise the ancient Netherese flying city of Undertide, the ruins of which she was located on, and use it to gain power over Faerun. The student returned to their normal form after Ashtara, an Asabi merchant and slaver searching the ruins of Undertide for treasure, used a magical potion to restore them. He afterward clamped a magical collar around the hero's neck, with which he forced them to do his bidding. Upon destroying the city's guardian golems, who were preventing Ashtara's slaves from their search for treasure, Ashtara freed the hero, allowing them to search the ruins for Eurydice, who at that moment was completing a ritual which would restore Undertide to the skies. Upon the hero climbing the tower, Eurydice had already succeeded in raising the flying city. The hero ascended to the top of the city, where they found that Eurydice, who is now a lich, had set up a circle of crystals through which the power of the Mythalar flowed in order to keep the city in the air. In the ensuing battle, one of the crystals was destroyed, just as the Mythalar's energy was passing through it, causing the energy to escape and the city to plummet. Knowing that as a lich, Eurydice might be able to survive the fall, the hero killed her with her own hands, and afterwards used a magical mirror which was found within Undertide to escape to the demiplane of shadow and avoid impending death. That's true. And then I played the bridge module Shadowhunt. It was fun. I wonder if I were playing a female character, if it would have used a female pronoun here, because there's a point in Hordes of the Underdark where they did that too. They referred to the hero of Neverwinter as a woman because I was playing Vipsani in it. Is it? It makes me wonder, is it rare to play both male and female characters? Do people often have a preference? Because that just seems weird to me. I pick whichever one seems. I think I do tend to slightly weigh heavier for male characters than female characters, but I try to get a pretty even balance. I'd say probably 60-40 as opposed to 50-50, but still, it seems boring to just play one. Anyway, let's read Hordes of the Underdark. One of the reasons I'm reading this is because this DLC is supposed to have connections plot-wise to those books, to those games books. So it's good to refresh my recollection of details. This tome describes the adventures of the Slayer of Mephistopheles, and I like the idea that this is propaganda to make Vipsania look good, because she was not a good guy. It must have been, and she did not slay Mephistopheles. It must have been written very recently, as the events described within are said to have occurred in early 1373 DR. What year is it? Oh, hold on a sec. It is 1373 DR. I wonder if that's on purpose or you just didn't change it. I've seen someone actually change that in the game. So, answering the call for heroes to save Waterdeep from an assault of Underdark creatures emerging from the Undermountain, blah 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 blah. Sorry. Okay, let's try that again. Answering the call for heroes to save Waterdeep from an assault of Underdark creatures emerging from the Undermountain, the hero traveled to the city and arrived at the Yawning Portal. The inn was attacked by Drow and Duergar, killing most of the patrons before the hero drove them into the portal room, where they were defeated. Moments later, a beholder leveled up the well, or levitated up the well and knocked the hero down. 4 adventurers, Tomi, Sharwin, Dalen, and Linu, charged off down the well after it. A cleric of Sun, or Suni, I like Sun, gave the hero a magical rod that would bring back the quartet who rushed off, in case they should have run into a trap and perished, and of course they did. With the help of a drow named Nathira, the hero assaulted the base where Halaster was being kept. He broke the wards holding him when a clone of pardon me. He broke the wards holding him when a clone of Halaster arrived, just too late to help. While the 2 mad mages argued amongst themselves about who was the real Halaster, the hero was placed under a geas to stop the Valsharess's plan from succeeding before Halaster teleported her away, accompanied by Nathira at a request. The hero arrived in the Temple of Lolth in the dark elf town of Lith-Myathar, where a fragile alliance between the native Lolth worshippers and a group of Illustrae followers, led by the Seer, a powerful Illustraean priestess, who explains how the Valsharess has gotten this power. Ugh. Yep, I remember the Valsharess. She was fun. She was pretty. I took her side. She has somehow bound the archdevil Mephistopheles, the lord of Cania, into her service. The seer tasked the hero with weakening the Valsharess's armies before she makes her inevitable strike on the town. The hero achieves this by bargaining with or destroying her allies. When the attack finally came, the Valsharess's force was weak enough for the hero and the defenders of Lilth-Myathar to handle. The hero then led the assault on the Valsharess's fortress, but the Valsharess commanded Mephistopheles to teleport him to her throne room alone. He did so, and the hero found himself alone, trapped in a magical cave. She ordered him to kill the hero, but the devil refused, killing her guards and releasing the hero from his cage. The hero then killed the Valsharess, and Mephistopheles reveals his betrayal. Apparently, the relic of the Reaper, a powerful artifact the hero had picked up in the Plane of Shadow, was a plant. The devil and the hero's fates were intertwined with the relic, and by ordering him to kill the hero, the Valsharess broke her pact with him. Mephistopheles banished the hero to Cania and prepared to start his own conquest of the surface. Well, this is definitely propaganda, because we know what really happened. We know that Vipsania actually turned on the seer and took the Valsharess's side. After sabotaging the Valsharess, of course. However, Mephistopheles did manipulate the Valsharess, who then, turned on the heroine, so to speak. Vipsania is a bad hero anyway. Turned on her, and things happened. That part was much the same. I do like the thought that Vipsania made sure that she's remembered as being a hero on the heroic side after the fact. In Cania, the hero discovered that Mephistopheles was using the souls there to reanimate the corpses killed in the Valsharess's war in order to take over Toril, so he can turn it into the new lowest level of hell, putting him above Asmodeus in the infernal hierarchy. With the help of the Knower of Names, a former lover of Mephistopheles, betrayed and imprisoned by him on the plane, the hero returned to Toril and defeated the archdevil in combat, earning the title the Slayer of Mephistopheles. Again, that is Vipsania's propaganda. What we know happened is that she used the Knower of Names to enslave Mephistopheles and took over Cania for herself for a while. Then got overthrown because she got a little bit above herself, and now is running a monastery outside of Thay. It makes sense that she published a book, though, to make it look better. I like that idea. Alright, so Tavern Patrons, Alaric Wolfguard, Sandor, Speaker Gill. We definitely want to talk to them. Beertrid Winters, and some other people. Well, let's talk to everybody notable. We'll talk to the refugees.
Hello there.
I wasn't expecting to have to share the city with people from Bremen and Tourmaline.
Huh?
Lucian Shaman, well, we've heard that one before. Let's talk to Beertrid.
Why, hello there.
Why,
Pleased
hello.
to meet you.
Why, hello to you. The hero in Neverwinter, if I'm not mistaken. We don't get celebrities like you here every day. Steven is kind of horny. I'd like to see what's... Or not. Perhaps we can go somewhere quiet. That's a generous offer, but I'm a happily married woman. that didn't stop him from hitting on Arabeth. Now, if Tyrus were working today, I'd happily introduce you to her. Not Priscilla, though. That girl has a tongue sharp enough to cut glass. Well, at least she's not offended. I do have high charisma. And the wherewithal to be pantsless in the fucking Icewind Dale. The chafing alone. And shrinkage. I'd like to see what services the inn offers. Of course. Please speak with my husband Callus at the bar. I wish I could take your order myself, but with all these refugees, I'm rushed off my feet just keeping the food and drink flowing from the kitchen. Very well. Don't be a stranger. Having a hero like you around can only be good for business. I don't think you're hurting for business, lady, but okay. So let's talk to Alaric Wolfguard. That is definitely a name. Very dramatic hero name.
My greetings to you.
Can't a man enjoy a drink in peace? What do you need, stranger? Despite the warrior's blunt words, there's a warmth in his eyes that suggests he maybe isn't as fearsome as he looks. What does he look like? Very red-haired. This formidable-looking fellow bears the proud red hair and bristly beard of the northern elk tribe. Interesting. I just want to talk. It's a cold night, and I suppose company is welcome. Really? Okay. Shot down with the waitress, but this is looking promising. What would you like to talk about? I bet he's nice and warm. Who are you? Name's Alaric Wolfguard. You might have heard of me. Might not. I was born into the elk tribe, but decided early on that the life of a tribesman wasn't for me. I left and sought fortune and fame as a monster hunter. What kind of monsters do you hunt? The kind that threaten the safety of the towns and villages I pass through. Usually it's goblins or orcs, sometimes a troll or ogre. Yetis and winter wolves are a problem in the frozen far. Occasionally something more serious, like a frost giant. Let's talk about these. Well, tell me about the goblins. They're little more than a nuisance most of the time. A large band can pose a threat when they're under the direction of a being with more upstairs, such as a giant or wizard. Akar Castle almost conquered Icewind Dale with a horde of the little greenskins 20 years ago. Okay, so we're talking about 20 years difference, huh? That seems a bit much. That's okay. I can deal with that. And Akar Castle didn't have much upstairs, let's be honest. I read the Crystal Shard. Tell me about the Yetis. They rarely venture this part. God, I'm tripping over my words today. Sorry. They rarely venture this far south, sticking to the glacier and northernmost parts of the dale. Something's riled them up. They're dumb brutes, but excellent ambushers, hiding in the snow until they spot their prey. I heard that even Drist himself once fell victim to a Yeti ambush. You're on a first-name basis with Drist Warden? Hey, I wonder if he'll be in this. Can I kill him? I got to kill him in Blackguard. Alright, tell me about the Verbeeg. The Verbeeg are a cunning race of giants that like to bully smaller and stupider creatures. They're barely giants in truth. More like human behemoths with a bad attitude. Still, they're good at getting other races to do their bidding, and they're as treacherous as an icy lake. Tell me about the frost giants. There are not many of them left west of the glacier or north of the spine, thank the gods. Massive brutes, stronger than a dozen men and as ruthless as winter itself. I heard there's a couple of clans laired in Icewind Pass. I recommend you steer clear of them, unless you have a small army with you. I am a small army, thank you. I'm listening. Would you like to trade? I'm afraid I don't have anything I'm willing to part with, and the last of my gold is reserved for keeping my belly warm with ale until the gates are open again. Then I plan to head south, beyond the spine of the world. Do you know anything about the monsters plaguing 10 towns? Okay, we've already asked about that. I know a lot about every monster native to Icewind Dale. The goblins, the yetis, the trolls, the verbeeg, even the frost giants. Now the reason there's so many of them, that's trickier to answer. There's gotta be something happening on the glacier to drive them down to the 10 towns. Okay, so I've asked about those. Alright, farewell. The mistress of the forest, guide your steps. So you're a Maeliki follower? Interesting. No wonder you're on a first-name basis with
No business to ya.
Refugees are a bunch of crybabies, if you ask me. Life is hard here for everyone. You're a fucking asshole, dude.
I greet you.
Last thing we needed was a bunch of refugees turning up on our doorstep. This feels timely. Fuckers. Alright. Sorry.
Hello.
Not another bloody lockdown. How's a man or woman supposed to earn a living with the city closed? Alright, well let's talk to this Sandor fellow.
What do you want?
At least the ale here is decent. Gilfrey treats his friends well. Okay.
Oi,
Oh
what
yeah,
can I get ya?
this is a disaster. First Hermelane, now Bremen, and now Lonelywood. What are we gonna do? Okay, we can talk to Callus. I guess he's the last one to talk to, huh? Anyone else? Alright, and then we'll look upstairs, see if there's anybody up there.
Well met.
Hello, friend. Oh, I like his picture. Let me pour you a drink, and then go grab a seat by the fire. The snow doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. Tell me about the Wolf's Pelt Inn. Wolf's Pelt Inn. I used to be an adventurer, not so famous as some like yourself. Don't look surprised, people gossip. Anyway, I used the coin I saved during my career to purchase this place. I run it with my wife, Kala, and my two children, so you're Callus and Kala. I'd like to rent a room. I wish I could oblige, but the inn is full. Once the refugees started turning up, those with money quickly rented out all the available rooms. You might have better luck at the Luskin Arms. It's near the center of Turgos. Okay. Actually, let's get a drink.
Well met.
Give me something to drink. Oblige. Alright. Nothing notable. I think I can afford better booze. Alright. Oh, Beertrude is her name. Well, that's a slight error. He called her Kala and her name is Beertrude. That's okay. It seems mean to pick on the errors, and I mean, even granted that it's a DLC, it's not like the guy has like a whole team of editors working with him, so I'm not begrudging the slight errors. I just, comment as I see 'em. Well, that's locked. That's annoying. Alright, so we've met people at the inn. That was nice. A few other places. I think that's the entrance, so can I go upstairs this side? Probably not. I was hoping to see more people upstairs. Oh, alright. So I guess we're gonna go to the center of the city and see what's gonna happen there. I like the snow. Snow effect.
Good tidings to ya.
Alright, well. They all seem kind of like whiny crybabies to me. The native folk and the refugees. But the refugees at least have a reason to weaken them. This is what you get for moving to Icewind Bloody Dale. I should have just stayed in Cormer and faced the King's justice. Well, I mean, sorry. It's like to be monarchy's crap anyway. Sorry. I can't really judge anyone else's form of government. Look at what's going on in my place. Sorry. Anyway, let's head to the middle of the city and see what there is to see there. Going up the rock, rock. There it goes. Oh. This is catchy. Can you hear the music? Oh, this is catchy. I like this. This might get the terrible song in my head. Nancy. Targosian and someone named Susie. Are you a cat? You're a cat. I kind of like my females like that.
Something I can do for you? Well, hello to you.
Hello there.
Alright, everyone's quite friendly. So, music merchant. Peter of Nobanian gets his own map marker. That's interesting.
Greetings.
Alright,
Greetings.
here.
Good day.
This magnificent lioness stares at you with a proud gaze. Ugh. This magnificent lioness stares at you with a proud gaze. She's seemingly unaffected by the biting cold and the falling snow. She's so cute. I love her. I wanna pet her. She'll probably eat me. So I'm guessing this guy's a druid. That would explain the grass, the tree, and the cat.
Nope.
As you approach, this handsome young man lays a hand on the head of the enormous lioness patrolling the grass clearing. His voice is deep and clear. Easy, Susie. This one is no enemy. Nobanian told me of their coming. This is Stephen, the hero of Neverwinter. Who the hell is Nobanian? Who are you?
I got something to say here. Listen up.
I'm Peter. This wondrous beast here is Susie. She does not belong to me. Rather, we both serve the king of beasts, Nobanian. Fear not for her. Fear not for her well-being in this frigid clime. Nobanian's blessing keeps her as warm as if she still hunted in the vast plains of the Shire. Huh, good to know. I am not from Icewind Dale. My home is in Villon Reach, many thousands of miles from here. Months ago, my god sent me vision of a land of swirling snowstorms and icy tundra. A land under threat from an ancient evil that stirs within the glacier to the east. Nobanian teaches that the strong must protect the weak in order for all in the pride to thrive. I knew then that I must come here and lend what aid I can to combat this threat, not only to protect the people, but the beasts that call Icewind Dale home. They have no voice, but they too suffer. No, he just seems less obnoxious than most druids, maybe because he's pretty straightforward right now. Tell me more about the suffering of the beasts that dwell here. Even a place as hostile to life as Icewind Dale has a spirit of the land that seeks to protect it. Sometimes when a land is under existential threat, it will imbue the greatest of the beasts that live within it legendary strength to aid in its defense. Such a phenomenon has occurred within Icewind Dale in response to a terrible enemy that seeks to destroy it. These legendary beasts are in pain, or have become twisted and corrupt. They must be helped or granted the mercy of death from their tortured existence. Alright, well, I'll try to take care of the beast for you. You do this. I know not their exact locations, only that there are 4 in number. They cry out in pain and fear. 1 is the master of the crags. 1, the master of caves. 1, the master of tundra. The last, the master of the sea. Help them if you can. If you cannot, grant them a swift death. A true hunter does not allow his prey to suffer any longer than is necessary. Nobanian will await their noble souls in the house of nature. Yeah, I like this guy. As druids go, he's not annoying. Druids are so often annoying. I feel awful saying that because they got a good cause and purpose, but they usually just end up being like, just like. This is awful to say, but basically like fantasy vegans, and just really, really obnoxious about it. And no offense intended to real-world vegans. I know most people who make that choice for themselves, they have good reasons, they have personal reasons, and they're generally not a dick about it to other people. But every once in a while you get that one college vegan online who just has to, judge everyone for being animal murderers, and you're just like, oh, fuck. Alright, well, join me. Together we can battle the threats that plague Icewind Dale.
Nope. Can't do that.
Too bad. Your offer is appreciated, but my place is here. Lord Firemane instructed me to await you in Targus, and offer what help I can to the hero of Neverwinter, but I must remain in the city. Do you require temple supplies or healing? You need but ask. I can only hope Lord Firemane reveals his true plan for me in time. Even a god as noble as Nobanian can possess designs that seem inscrutable to mere mortals. Well, I could have healing. Give me a moment to commune with my god, Nobanian, king of beasts. I beseech you. Okay. Give me a moment to commune with my god, Nobanian, king of beasts. I beseech you, heal this hero's wounds so that they may protect the land from the predations of the ignoble and the villainous. God, I'm having trouble talking today. Sorry. I blame that stupid song. It is done. You're renewed. Go with the blessings of Nobanian. Thank you. So let's see if there's
Good
anything
on
else we
ya.
can talk to him
Hello.
about. Alright. I want to know more about this threat from below. I fear I'm privy to nothing beyond this information. Either Nobanian does not want me to know, or the threat clouds even the perfect vision of the king of beasts. Could the threat relate to the masked lady of the lake, or a blue-skinned shaman? It is possible. Certainly a blue-skinned shaman who embraces the cold suggests the involvement of Auril in some capacity. Her priests and priestesses have long been a menace in the frozen far. As for Masked Lady, I'm afraid I cannot help. Now tell me about Nabanian. Nabanian is the king of beasts, a noble primal spirit that came to Faerun only recently, as gods measure such things. He is virtuous and brave, a leader and a patriarch who protects and nurtures his bride. Well, that seems like a decent reason to follow suit. Let's see what temple goods you have. Of course, I wish I could simply give you whatever you require. The gold I make from trade will be needed to help fund the protection of Targos when the time comes. What's with the huge dog? It's actually a lioness. See? She's Susie. Known as the king of great cats, the lion is large, fierce, and regal. A competent hunter, it attacks swiftly and with crushing force. Yeah. She's cute. Yeah, this druid's not too bad. Seems very straightforward. As druids go, you know, that's probably about the best you can get. I have 30 gold pieces, so I suspect I'm not going to get much. But let's see, I can actually sell some shit, probably. I don't have enough gold to identify it. Crap. Well, I can sell a longsword at least. Got a warhammer +1. Oh, I should actually wear these. Boots of expeditious retreat. Well, okay. Abominable Yeti hide. Can I do something with it? Maybe I'll just keep it for a while. Alright, we have a silver necklace. Some healer kits, both expensive. Parry up a wisdom, protection. Some scrolls. It doesn't look like anybody permadeaths. At least before Kinuki just kind of fell over and sat back up, so I'm not going to worry about raised death spells yet. And nothing too interesting here. Really, I just want to identify shit so I can sell it. There's my PC properties, can't sell those. Music still gets very loud, by the way. Can I turn it down separately? That's a good question. I quite like the music, actually. With the way I've got my sound set up, I can't do a whole lot separately, but we'll try turning it down some more. Alright. Let's see, let's sell the hide armor. Sell the hand axe. More hide armor. Another hand axe. Fisher's outfit, which I'm keeping for now. I have clear thought. I guess you can use some intelligence. You never know when you might need it. I still want to know what this is. Oh, I have enough. Let's identify it. Actually, really, I just want to sell it. It's good music. It just makes it hard to hear me. Ah, fair enough, fair enough. Up here it's going. Is it softer? I tried turning it down a little. Protective garments, such as this one, are usually made by a wizard to protect a clumsy assistant. Huh. I do like the cold resist, but to be honest, I'll try to keep it down here for a bit. Okay. It's nice, but let's be honest, I need some nice heavy. Heavy crossbow. Actually, let me keep that because I've got some bolts to use. Actually, let's... Not that one. Oh, do you not have cheap bolts? Fuck. You don't have regular bolts. You just have expensive bolts. Well, fuck. Alright, anything else? Nether branch bolts. What do they do? I can't afford them, but let's read them. Oh my. Ambienting. The edges of these near-rotted leather boots still have the dead vines and twigs draped from them. These magical boots were fashioned and enchanted by several members of the host tower of the Arcane, that's a Muslim, during the brief crusade against various nature worshippers in the Icewind region, passed along to their agents scouting the region. While the boots were known to cause any plant touching them to wither instantly, it also left a notable trail through the wilds of Icewind Dale, a trail that the druids followed in polar bear form and devoured the agents one by one. These boots were all that remain. These boots kill any vegetation they touch, and they cannot be worn by a ranger or druid. Interesting. Oh, that's cool. So that's how they make it so that the ranger or druid can't wear them. They just set it up to be only usable by literally everybody else. Interesting. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that, Zeradine. Thank you. Oh, There's probably a way I can do this in the long run, but I'm not going to worry too much about it now. Alright, well, I think maybe it might be a good idea for me to buy some healer kits, you know? Because I do have a bad tendency of dying a lot. Probably should go with more than 5, but 5 is probably an okay place to start. Okay. Alright, let's see. Music Merchant, and let's look around some more. Let's see what there is to find. So I've got a new quest. The Legendary Beasts. I have to look for 4 beasts. I presume I'll find them on my travels. Hiya, Too Many Daves. How are you?
Greetings.
Alright, still more things about the
Greetings.
blue-skinned shaman. Alright, where the fuck am I? Oh, here I am. Hey, where's that guy? You look like a guy. Are you important? No, you're just a guard. That's not fair. Guards aren't important. Speak to the captain. Already
Well met.
Alright, so how are you, Too Many Daves? Well, let's talk to the music merchant.
Hi there.
Come, cruise my collection of musical instruments. Why, Storm Silverhand of Shadowdale herself is a valued customer. Well, that's a bold claim. Shadowdale is a long way from here. Everywhere's a long way from Icewind Dale, friend. I suppose that's why it's called the Frozen Far, not the Frozen Near, huh? Between us, I may have exaggerated slightly. I once glimpsed Storm while visiting family in Whistledale many moons ago. To the best of my knowledge, though, she's never purchased an instrument from me. I'm doing well, too. However, none other than Volothamp Geldar. Volothamp Geddar once bought a tambourine. Oh, God. I wouldn't advertise that. He said he hoped to distract Elminster with it should the Sage of Shadowdale ever catch up with him. They have a strange dynamic. That's probably true. I think Storms of Zahir, the spin-off, or the second expansion of Neverwinter Nights 2, features Volothamp. He's a fucking... Anyway, I've heard hints that there will be an enhanced edition for Neverwinter Nights 2, though it doesn't sound like it's a being done project. Still, that sounds pretty awesome. If they have any, like, if it's exactly the same but runs a little better on modern machines, that's pretty good in its own right. And if they have a few more quality of life features, that would be awesome. So, I'll be getting it when it comes out, I think. I hope it's backward compatible, but I mean, I've got the older version if it's not. For mods and such. Modules. Show me your wares. But of course, finding the right instrument is like falling in love. When you found the one you know. Bards. Alright, so there's Bard gloves. Makes sense. Bard necklace. What's it do? This amulet was created by the dwarf smith Rendell. It is forged from a gold chain with the crystallized teardrop of a fae inlaid at the bottom. A part of the fae's natural charm and affinity for magic is contained within the teardrop, allowing bards to take their performances to a new level of brilliance in inns and taverns of the realm, and inspire the comrades on the field of battle. Oh wow, that is nice. Look at that. Not useful to me. Nice. Retching Serpent Chime of Opening. That would be nice to have. 50 charges though, that's not bad. When played, the Chime of Opening sends forth magic vibrations that cause locks, lids, doors, valves, and portals to open. The device functions against most normal bars, shackles, chains, bolts, and so on. These chimes can be used extensively, but will eventually crack and become useless. The other one. The Serpent is a wind instrument. It is usually made of a long conical wooden tube of over 6 feet in length. It's probably not looking like that, but that's okay. That is coiled in much the same way as a snake. The snake, 6 holes along its length, a player alternate pitch in much the same way as a cornet. And it casts Stinging Cloud. That's fun. I do like the Stinging Cloud. Alright. Let's look around. Rendell's Fine Dwarven Craft. Hey, that's the guy who made that thing. We're gonna have to go in and see what he has in a bit. There's another Targosian. Do you have anything useful to say?
Greetings to you.
No. No, you do not. I'm utterly shocked by this. Alright. dye merchants, and a crafting merchant. Well, I'm not crafting in this game. I'm getting my crafting urges done through Final Fantasy XIV. I do like being able to switch classes. I do wish there was a bit more you could do to combine them. I always thought a cool thing to do would be if you mastered a class in Final Fantasy XIV, because there's really no crossover when it comes to the classes, like there is in like Final Fantasy V or something like that. And I get it. It's easier to make it playable to not do it that way. But I thought it would be cool as once you got to the highest level of a class, if all of the glamours that are specifically for the class, all the outfits, you could make them available on any other class. That would be cool. That would be a good reward, I think, for mastering. That wouldn't affect gameplay, and there wouldn't be anyone trying to tell people how to play their game. Like, I'm not going to group with you unless you have this and that, because some people do that, or used to do that, I guess. But it would be a reward and a motivation to do it. Okay, so there's someone in here. Baldrin Irontooth. A lady.
Blood of the gods.
It's those black-hearted swine, thieving scoundrels. If it wasn't for this bloody lockdown, I'd march right back to the fallen crags and deliver some cold dwarven justice to those sons of orcs. Band of scum. Unscrupulous waylaying Language, lass. There are customers around. Besides, that kind of talk doesn't become a dwarven girl. You're angry, aye. That I can understand. Save your rage for when you're face to face with the bandits that robbed you. Sorry, Mr. Granite Fist, sir. I'm just fuming, that's all. Clan Firehammer trusted me to deliver their wares. You trusted me. Now I've let you down. These things happen, lass. I'm just glad you escaped with your life. Say, what are you looking at, stranger? Unless you have a mind to help me retrieve my stolen merchandise, I'd thank you to leave me in peace. Well, tell me about your stolen merchandise. I was making a delivery from Clan Firehammer in the Dwarven Valley to Grendel here. Thought I'd done well to avoid the goblins and the verbeegs that haunt the fallen crags when I spotted a campfire surrounded by half-dozen humans. I thought they looked friendly, eh? Turns out I was wrong. They asked me who I was, where I was headed. Suddenly, one of them grins and nods to the other, and before I know it, they're surrounding me. I managed to escape with one of my mules. They took the other, and all the merchandise I'd stowed on the beast. I made my way back here to report the incident to Grendel. I planned to alert the militia, maybe round out a group of guards to head to the crags and deal with the brigands. But now Targos is under lockdown, and I'm stuck here. It makes me so angry. I'll be leaving Targos soon. I can retrieve your merchandise for you. And that's so? Thought no one was allowed in or out of Targos on account of all the strange going-ons in the Dale. Still, if you're able to recover my merchandise, I'll pay handsomely for its return. If you can knock a few brigand heads together in the meantime, all the better. Well, I'll give it a shot. What do you know about Clan Firehammer? Queen Gimla Firehammer took over the valley when Clan Battlehammer left for Mithril Hall. She's a dwarf after my own heart. I do like... Oh, a female dwarf. See, that was always a complaint I had with Crystal Shard. Reading it, there were no random female characters. Like, like, Canterbury was the only one who had, like, any sort of lines, and she was barely in the book. But it's like, even in the town, there was no mention of female townsfolk. There were no mention of female dwarves. The only women besides Canterbury who were mentioned in the entire book were, like, were Akar Kessel's sex slaves. Female dwarves, those are a myth. No, they exist. You just can't tell. Because their beards are nicer. But that was a pet peeve of that book for me. I think R.A. Salvatore is a good writer, and he improves over time. But his very first book was a little weak in that respect. Okay. Queen Gimla Firehammer took over the valley when Clan Battlehammer left for Mithril Hall. She's a dwarf after my own heart. She takes no nonsense and knows when to knock heads together, and when to offer a kind word. You'll find the valley in the shadow of Calvin's cairn. I want to ask about the Fallen Crags. Bloody accursed place. The crags are a rocky, treacherous region covered in mist. Goblins of Verbeeg are known to lair in the crags, and it turns out they're also a favorite spot for ambushes. Unfortunately, you can't get damn near anywhere in Icewind Dale without passing through them. Okay,
Goodbye
farewell.
to you.
Watch yourself outside Targos. If the trolls, goblins, yetis, and brigands don't kill you, the weather might. Nice place. Let's talk to Grendel. Grendel Granitefist. Cool name.
Hail to ye!
Welcome to me shop. I be Grendel Granitefist, first and last of his name. The centuries may have leached some of the strength from me old bones and turned me beard grey, but the best weapons and armor will still outlast the most ancient of worms, you mark my words. I'm Stephen. I need the most powerful items you can forge. That's so. I reckon I've heard of you. Had a caravan from Neverwinter arrive in Targos before the winter just passed. Spoke of a plague, a war with Luskin, and a human named Stephen, the hero of Neverwinter, the caravan master called you. Many of the secrets of the lost forges of Clan Battlehammer will die with me. Maybe I have a mind to release them into the world before my passing. Don't reckon I'd find a better man than you to entrust them with. Take this list. You bring me the materials I need, and I'll create for you items befitting a hero. I'll need to charge you gold for me time too, you understand. I promise the end results will be worth every copper. Well, I'll need to make gold first. What can you tell me about the history of Icewind Dale? The ragged barbarians have hunted the tundra here as long as the dwarves remember. I fled here with the rest of Clan Battlehammer over 2 centuries ago, when the dragon's Shimmergloom— I just thought Shimmergloom sounded like the name of a goth My Little Pony. It's not a terribly imposing name, that's all I'm saying. Alright, anyway. When the dragon Shimmergloom invaded Mithril Hall, when King Bruner returned and finally slew the beast, I chose to remain. The Dale's had its share of conflict over the years, most of it linked in some way to Cren Shinban, the blasted crystal shard. First the devil Balhafet, then his bastard children, then the upstart mageling Akar Kessel. He was a dick. Wouldn't surprise me if the latest woes afflicting the Dale are the work of Cren Shinban. You live long enough, you start to see the patterns repeating themselves. Reckon that's Moradin's way of telling a dwarf when he ain't long for dwarf home. I'd like to ask some questions about Targos. Might be I can spare a moment or two to answer your questions. The lockdown ain't doing much for business. What can you tell me about the council? You mean Kemp and his cronies? Yeah, you mean Kemp and his cronies? Kemp does a reasonable job of looking out for Targos' interests, and he led the town well enough during the Battle of Icewind Dale. I ain't one for speaking ill of folk that ain't present, so make of that what you will. Fair enough. Do you know, I'm looking for magical supplies. Then you'll be wanting to pay a visit to Icewind Enchantments near the west gate. The shop's not been there for long, and I don't trust Sylvanius Crim farther than I can throw him. Damn mage refuses to walk when he can teleport. I mean, to be fair, if I could teleport, I would. What can you tell me? Okay, I asked about the council. Do you know where I can find temple services? There ain't no temple in Targos itself, far as I'm aware. Folks here ain't got the time nor the inclination to build places of worship when it's a struggle just to survive the cold. Still, I heard there's a strange fellow in the market who is a priest of some lion god. Maybe he can help. It's true. All right, let me ask something else. Okay, show me your wares, please. It'll be my pleasure. Best dwarf-made goods outside Mithril Hall, or I'm the son of a goblin. All right, well, they look pretty standard. I am wearing chainmail. I don't really have enough money for anything good either. Looks like the best stuff here is +1. Could go from some half plate, I guess. I think that's better than chainmail, or full plate, even better. But I can't afford it, so it's all kind of moot. Ah, they do have some nice normal bolts, though. I did want some of those. There we go. Not that I'm anticipating using the damn crossbow, but it's nice to have it. Do I have a torch? I don't. You know what? I'm gonna buy a torch. It's probably silly and a waste of time, but you never really know when you might want to set something on fire. I'm really glad I'm not one of those that get quoted all the time, because I feel like that's one that would take it out of context. Clan Battlehammer. Let's read this. Clan Battlehammer is a clan of shield dwarves based in Mithril Hall, currently ruled by King Bruner Battlehammer. Gandalug Battlehammer reigned as the first king some time before 0 DR. The Hall was an underground town and mine, as the mountain was rich in mithril ore. Mithril Hall was abandoned in the 1100s DR, when the shadow dragon Shimmergloom, again Goth My Little Pony, and hordes of Duergar claimed the settlement for themselves after the dwarves in Mithril Hall dug too deep in search for mithril and disturbed the dragon. Only a minority of the clan escaped, including young Bruner. The survivors of Mithril Hall migrated away, the majority ultimately settling in a valley in front of the Calvin's cairn in Icewind Dale. They created a new home for themselves in the Dale, where they remained for 2 centuries. They traded dwarven-made equipment to the 10 towns. In 1356 DR, that's less than 20 years before. Because I think it thinks we're in 73, yeah? Anyway, 1356 DR. Bruner Battlehammer returned to Mithril Hall with the help of other adventurers such as Dris Duorden and the other companions of the Hall. He intended to vanquish Shimmergloom and make Mithril Hall his home once more. Although Bruner seemingly died killing the dragon, he survived, and with the help of dwarves from Citadel Felbar, he successfully cleared out the tunnels by 1357 DR. Mithril Hall became once again home to Clan Battlehammer. The Dwarven Valley was left to his cousins, including Gimla Firehammer, current queen of the Valley Dwarfs. In 1362 DR, Bruner abdicated his throne to Gandalug, the founder of Mithril Hall, who had returned from the dead, making him the first and ninth king of Mithril Hall. Bruner took a few hundred of his dwarves back to Icewind Dale, but when Gandalug died, he returned in 1370 DR to rule as the 10th king of Mithril Hall. Okay. That definitely happens. Dwarves have interesting politics. Actually, I always liked the dwarf politics in Dragon Age. Surprisingly complex. I like that the dwarves had the most aristocratic society in that setting. It was against what you'd expect, but also kind of cool. Alright, so let's talk to more merchants and see what we have. Hi! Hey kid, what are you doing? Come to see me? Come to see me? Okay, there's the Luskin Arms, it'll be fun to talk to people. A fruit merchant. I could love some fruit.
Hello there.
Come get your fruit, the finest fruit in all 10 towns. Sweeter than a maiden's kiss. Where do you get your fruit? Do you have, like, greenhouses? That would make some sense. Let's talk to the dye merchant.
Hello.
You, sir, you look like you can use a blanket to keep warm. What do you say? How's business? Honestly, not so good. My dyes are expensive and difficult to obtain at the best of times. We Yetis prowling the wilderness, talk of blue-skinned shaman attacking Tourmaline, and Lonelywood suffering under a natural malaise, certainly not the best of times. Kitten. I've got a cat in my lap now. Excellent, take your time. Alright, well, good to know. Like I said, I don't really see myself doing any crafting with this character, but I'm always interested to see if folks utilize the crafting system.
Do business to
I
ya.
interest you in crafting supplies. I have it all. Metal ingots, blank scrolls for trapping magical writings, empty bottles ready to store all manner of elixirs and concoctions. Where do you source your crafting supplies? Usually I wouldn't reveal my suppliers to customers. Business were under lockdown and I have no idea when trade might resume. I suppose it can't hurt to reveal a few sources. What are you doing? You want to get wrapped up in a blanket? I can do that. You look like you want to get wrapped up in a blanket because you're tucking your head into my, elbow. There we go. Let's wrap the kitten up. Cold? Cold? I like to keep the basement cold because then you cuddle with me more. It's my evil plan. Evil scheme. She knows. She knows I exploit her. Alright, so what's we got here? The dwarven clans in the valley of the foot of the Kelvin's cairn supply most of the metal I have for sale. I purchase the more organic matter from the hunters and occasional barbarian trader. Parchment, glass, and the like I buy in quantity from the caravans visiting from the south. With Targos under lockdown, the unseasonably cold weather, and reports of Yetis and other beasts encroaching into the 10 towns, I fear I won't receive another shipment for months. If you have any crafting supplies to sell, I'll be happy to give you a fair price. Oh, okay. No, that might be something to pick up then. Let's see what you have. Okay. I don't think I've got anything crafting related, but it's good to know. If I do find any. Oh. I think she'll buy that hide better than some of us. I'm gonna keep it though. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I feel like it might be helpful. Oh, let me move my leg a little bit because I feel worried that if I let you go, kitten, you're gonna fall. There we go. Wrapped in blanket in my lap. All warm. Warm and cuddly. Okay. Shit. How am I doing? Oh yeah. A butcher. Let's talk to the butcher.
Wait, what can I get you?
You there. Feast your eyes upon these cuts of meat. The finest is yes outside of Bryn Shen.
Hey there.
Fish? Get your fish. Fish from this morning's catch. Not any adventurers in Mare Dualden lately. I don't understand what. Ah, you mean the poor strangers that have been washing up in Lonelywood? Can't say I know much about that. Never set eyes on this masked lady of the sea. I pray to Umberly I never do. I'll take a look at your wares. Can hear it. Alright, so fish. Good to know. I don't really see any use for that, but it's good to know. Alright, if I ever need to buy fish, I know where to buy them. Icewind enchantments. Oh, let's see who this untrustworthy mage fellow is. I also want to see what's in the Luskin arms, but I haven't done that yet. Gotta remember. Oh, it autosaved. That can't be good. Shit. This is probably a bad sign. Kanuki's just yawning. Yep, this is a bad sign. It's a bad sign when it does that. Alright, let's see the books. The Arcane Brotherhood of Luskin. Well, I'm gonna read shit. He ain't here yet. The Arcane Brotherhood is a mercantile company and wizards guild that operates out of the host tower of the Arcane in Luskin. The organization is shrouded in mystery, as even its most high-ranking members are unknown. It is known, however, that their primary goal is the political and economic control of the North. Arklim Grief, the original Archmage Arcane of the Brotherhood, first appeared in Luskin around 1311 DR. Meticulously building a group of powerful and evil mages, Grief sought to acquire control of the North by first dominating trade using the far-reaching arm of Luskin. Grief and the Brotherhood first gained control of Luskin through the High Captains, somewhere around 1357 DR. After conquering the island of Ruitham on the second attempt, in 1361 DR, Luskin was forced to return it by the Lord's Alliance. Grief then had Luskin embark on a number of disastrous military and naval ventures. After a botched war against Lantan, Grief was forced to flee to Mirabar when two of his high-ranking subordinates sought to overthrow him and proceeded to assassinate his assistant. While in exile, Grief successfully gained his long-sought immortality by becoming an undead lich. Returning to the city sometime in late 1371 DR, he used his newfound powers to reclaim the Brotherhood. After briefly falling under the heel of the cultist Malgrim Corathir, Grief and his Erinya's ally Nifithis have turned their attention to recruiting new mages for the guild and plotting means to conquer the newly created country of the Silver Marches. Ah, okay. Alright, let's see what else we got here. There's another bookshelf over here. Let's see if you got anything good. There's Sylvanas Crim. I think he's gonna be evil. Well, I might be breaking that open soon. But maybe not yet. Alright. Let's talk till Sylvanas Crim. Grendel doesn't like him, but Grendel could just be a dick.
Can I help you?
Ah, as if be praised, a customer. If you desire my wondrous goods in this cursed backwater, if you still have the gold to afford them, I trust you won't disappoint. I got 139 gold, dude. Where are you again? Who am I? Your question reeks of ignorance. I am Sylvanas Crim, wizard of note. My name is known from Port Last to Luskin and beyond, though perhaps not as far as Targos. The people here care for little except knucklehead trout. What's the problem with Targos? Compared with the city of sails, Targos is but a pimple on the airs of humanity. An oral-cursed frozen wasteland where beasts roam and the dregs of civilization eke out an existence fit only for a yeti and a snow goblin. Yet here I must remain. Why? My superiors in Luskin have instructed me to remain in the 10 towns to seek economic opportunity among the frozen squalor and rustic lean-tos. The one positive in this hellish assignment is that I am free to pursue my magic without interference. It sounds like you work for the Luskin Brotherhood. The wizard's mouth drops open. That's preposterous. I'll ask you politely not to make such an accusation again. If someone should hear, let's talk about something else. Yes, I love him yawning right there. Alright, show me your wares. Last, someone who appreciates the artisanal magic of highest quality. Huh, it looks like nice stuff. I mean, if I could afford it, but I can't, so sorry. still good to keep it in mind. Oh. Right. We're jotting that fucker down. Alright, when I have the money, I am coming back for you, my beautiful friend. I am coming back for you. I'm in love. Alright, meanwhile, I am way too curious, but it's bad role-playing, so we're gonna save first. One sec. And I'm gonna break open this fucking bookcase. I wanna see
The
what's in
battle is on! What the? My
Alright,
weapon does.
there. Rude. Alright. Well, I guess I will never know. I'm gonna reload though, because that was rude. And Steven wouldn't be rude. I would be, but he would not. I wonder why it autosaved there, though. Am I running the risk of... Huh. Strange. Strange. Wonder if there's something I didn't trigger that I was supposed to trigger. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Alright, so we have dye, merchant, and fish. Okay, Luskin Arms I do want to look into. Oh yeah, that's an inn, so we're going to hold off on that for a bit. Because I just remember the inn guy in the other part mentioning it. The world map. Can't hurt it with power attack? I might be able to hurt it with power attack. I kind of forgot I had power attack, so let's find out. Well, actually, hold on. We're gonna quick save here. That's what really matters. And I'm gonna go back and see if power attack will make a difference. I doubt it, because my partner here didn't even try, but it is worth a try. I missed. Nope, not even with power attack. Okay. The music's really catchy in this town. Oh, my darling, look at you, all draped adorably. Melted. So a blanket was a good idea, huh? Blanket was a good idea, huh? You look so melty. You ever have a cat just like kind of melting your lap? It's adorable. It's adorable. Alright, anyway, let's see where we are. Okay, so I'm at the gate, and I don't think I'm allowed out yet, because we are in love.
Well met.
Alt, no one is to leave Targos under order of Speaker Kemp. We can try some bravado. Do you recognize me? I'm the hero of Neverwinter. Someone did, so maybe he will. I don't care who you are. The rules apply to everyone. If Drist himself were here, I'd tell him the same thing. If you want to leave town, you'll need to talk to Kemp and get him to give you a pass. Why is it under lockdown? Why? Let's see. There's a blue-skinned maniac leading an army of goblins back of what I've sent to Termine. Yetis and other beasts are massing outside the 10 towns. Some mysterious lady of the lake murdering folk, and the folk of Lonelywood all falling under some mysterious spell. Is that enough? Farewell. I mean fair. That does kind of seem like things worth locking down about, I guess. Alright, let's see what's up this way. More Targosians. What? Who are you?
Well met.
Alright, speak with the captain. Okay, that looks like a town hall, so that's probably where I'll get to speak to Kemp. So we're not gonna go there yet. I think we'll go to the inn first, see if there are any interesting NPCs to talk to there. Maybe some quests to gather, and then we'll see. I like the idea of a world map, though. I hope it's like the one in Darkness over Daggerford. I liked that world map a lot. It reminded me a lot. It's funny to play Darkness over Daggerford before playing Neverwinter Nights 2, because I feel like a lot of the things in Neverwinter Nights 2 were in Darkness over Daggerford first, like the map system and a few and things like that. And I wonder if one inspired the other a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. I like the world map. World maps are fun. I mean, I think a good portion of the people who worked for the company started out as module makers anyway. Or some people who have paths in game system or game making ended up making modules too. There's one by a fellow called Cyramed, whose name is significant if you've ever played any of the Ultima games. He actually was on one of the teams that did Ultima, well, the later Ultima games, especially Ultima 7, and his name, like a lot of them, ended up being one of the major NPCs in it. Someone who actually joins the team of Avatar people, despite it being like 7 weeks in. And he fits in very well. Alright, so I guess now that I've meandered around, let's go to the Luskin Inn. Is that you? Tarkos Inn. I think it's here. Ah, I like the statues. Okay. Let's see. Now, are there going to be some interesting characters in here? There are patrons.
Good business to
See
ya.
that huge old barbarian stomping around? Reckon he's near enough the size of Wolfgar. Hey, I think they're talking about you.
Hello
I
there.
heard the Dukes of Daggerford were somewhere in the Moonsea. Hasn't been a finer adventuring group since the company of crazed adventurers. I feel like I remember meeting those people. I think it was in Tyrants of the Moonsea that I met them. Wish I'd played Tyrants of the Moonsea a bit more recently though, because there's a lot I don't remember about it. Though I had fun with it, quite a bit of fun with it. So we have patrons here. There's some upstairs and it looks like some downstairs, so we're gonna want to look around. I don't see anybody with names. Interesting. Pavel. Oh my gosh! Pavel! I think that's the NPC at the very beginning of Neverwinter Nights. When you meet in the...
Hey there.
By the gods, I thought I recognized that face. It's you, isn't it? It's Steven. Pavel, I remember you from the academy. It is Pavel. That's great. Seemed a lifetime ago now, but it's barely been a year. I lost my brother in the attack on the academy. You went on to become the great hero everyone said you'd be. I'm sorry about what happened to your brother. Thanks, Steven. Losing both my twin. Oh, I love that they actually mentioned them being twins because they had the same portrait. Losing both my twin and my parents was harder than I can explain. It's only thanks to you that I had a farm to go back to at all. It was an easy decision to part with it and begin again elsewhere. What are you doing in Icewind Dale? After the attack on the academy, I went back to my farm, only to find my parents died of the plague. I couldn't bear to remain there after everything that happened. I sold up and decided to start a new life here. You're an innkeeper now. The previous owner was in the middle of selling the place when I arrived in Targus. I made a higher offer than the other bidders and went out. It cost me most of my savings, but business is good, at least until recently. I'd like to rent a room. As far as I'm concerned, my inn is yours to call home for however you like. I won't accept a copper in payment. Here's the key to upstairs. Come and go as you please. Aw! How lovely! Aw! That makes me so happy. I want a drink. Can I recommend Bim's Brew? Something I came up with myself to celebrate the memory of my twin. We used to make cider from apples on the farm. Somehow I think he'd appreciate it. Aw, you can't buy it specifically. That makes me sad. Well, at least he's letting me give him money, so I'm gonna buy some spirits. Just so I can give him a little bit of money. Because he won't let me pay him for the room. Pavel. Aw, he's alive. My friend is alive. After everything that happened in Neverwinter Nights, I think Steven's really, really happy about that. I did not expect that we'd see Pavel here. That is awesome. That is so great. So let's go poking around where we shouldn't. Yawn. You're tired? Maybe we'll rest. I'm only gonna be on for another 15 minutes. I gotta start streaming more often. I'm sorry. It wasn't my plan to do it only once a week for a while. And if I am gonna be once a week, I should start earlier so I can spend more than 2 hours. We'll work on it. Let's see downstairs. Ooh, this is looking kind of creepy. So what do we got here? Okay. Interesting. What's that? Oh, I guess it's just meat? Okay, extra meat. I was thinking it's going to be something tawdry, but it looks pretty normal. What's breaking? Yawn. I think there's a hint that we should be sleeping soon. Yawning, I think. Huh. Okay, well, I've alleviated my curiosity at least. I have trouble buying that Pavel would be doing anything untoward anyway. Alright, well let's go upstairs. Perhaps we'll get to meet someone interesting. I suspect not, but you never know. Skin arms upstairs. Ooh, more books. Let's read some books. Huh? Oh, cool. Reminders of what happened. This is going to be helpful, because I did forget what happened in a lot of these adventures, so let's read them. If anything, I think there's a bit too much detail, at least there was in the Shadow of Undertide and Words of the Underdark retelling, but on the other hand, it does jog my memory. So let's jog my memory. Let's start with Darkness over Daggerford. The recent trouble in Daggerford, as with so many of the ills plaguing Faerun, can be traced back to the Zhentarim. The suspicious death of Duke Quilled Greatshout began a story of intrigue that ultimately resulted in a powerful devil named Gorgamorts being unleashed upon the realms. Oh yeah, I remember that. Eric the Red fought him. Eric the Red was my favorite little halfling sorcerer. Kaboom. Once again, in their quest to amass power and influence at any cost, the Black Network placed the lives of countless innocents in danger. Fortunately, as is so often the case, a brave hero, or perhaps a group of heroes, for the Dukes of Daggerford delight in recounting tales of their valor to any who will listen, came to the rescue. Did they claim our credit, fuckers? During the course of their adventures, our heroes are said to have resolved all manner of problems experienced by the folk of the region, traveling from Crab's Claw Coast, don't say that 3 times fast, to Trollbark Forest, and even venturing down into the ancient ruins of Elefarn. In the end, Gorgamos himself was defeated inside Daggerford's very walls. The Zhentarim plot was exposed, and Greatshout himself was discovered alive and well. As with every story of such scope, however, there's much that must be left out of this brief telling. This humble author recommends that those seeking thrills of high adventure get their hands on a more comprehensive retelling of the period in which darkness lay over Daggerford. That was a fun module. So let's see what the other says. Crimson Tides of Tethir. That's the one with the ogre mages, right? The events of the recent conflict in Tethir, during which the ogre mage, warlord Sithilus, I keep calling him Syphilis, Sithilus marched an army of humanoids south into human lands, are still being picked over by sages and scholars from Candlekeep to Shadowdale. What triggered Sithilus to embark on a war with a powerful southern nation is still up for debate. They killed his wife. What is known, however, is that many soldiers lost their lives in the brief conflict, which concluded in this elven city of Soldaneslar, and an epic confrontation between the ogre warlord and an unnamed hero. Soldaneslar. I think I got it. Though details are vague at this time, it appears that treachery was somehow afoot in the leadership of the Crimson Guard, the famed mercenary company hired by Queen Zoranda Star Redan to defend Tethir. One scholar speculates that the Crimson Guard intentionally instigated the conflict in order to win power in the kingdom. Another argues that a foul being known as the Malaugrim was secretly behind the war, manipulating events for its own ends. Regardless of the cause of the conflict, thousands died during an autumn that is already being referred to as the Bloody Fall. It is said that the hero who eventually defeated Sithilus overcame slave traders, an imprisoned titan, and a horde of kobolds, ogres, and worse during the desperate final battle for Soldaneslar. What became of him or her is unknown, and with events still so fresh, the veracity of those of the above will only be fully known in time, or to those fortunate enough to have witnessed them firsthand. No, don't escape now. You are my prisoner. You're my adorable prisoner. Now you get to lay on my lap and be warm and annoyed for eternity. Yep, warm and annoyed, warm and annoyed. Giving you the screeches, screeches, screeches. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. You can do what you want, baby. You want to get up? Okay. All right, I'm being abandoned. Alas, my lap warmer is gone. All right, so now let's see the retelling of Tyrants of the Moonsea. The events that transpired in the Moonsea are so recent that, as of this writing, your humble author is still taking account of the grim toll of the conflict took on the region, in particular the city of Zendel-Keep. What is known is that a vengeful archmage attempted to destabilize the region and ultimately destroy the Zentrum first by organizing a cult led by a crazed Dracolich, and then by forming a pact with the dread demon prince of the undead, Orcus. Ultimately, the Archmage's plans were foiled by a powerful hero. The fate of the Archmage is unclear, however rumors hint that he may have survived, and that he still seeks the powerful Netherese artifact that enabled him to wreak so much havoc in the first place. That's a short one. Okay. Well, I feel like I'm slightly better reminded of what happened. So that's good. That's very helpful, because it's been a while. Alright. Aaron Gend! I remember that dude. And there's a room. Let's talk to Aaron Gend. Shit.
Well met.
Hello, my friend. It's been too long. The rumors said you were dead, but I refuse to believe them. The hero of Neverwinter is not fated for an anonymous end. The realms have need of you yet. Aaron Gend, it's a pleasure to see you. You too, my friend. Yours is the first friendly face I've seen since I came to Icewind Dale. Well, the second, but I'll speak on that later.
Listen well to what I have to say.
You're surely wondering what I'm doing so far north. It's best if I start at the beginning. After you left Neverwinter, a black melancholy threatened to unravel me. Like you, I did not approve of Nasher's decision to execute Arabeth. The law demanded death. Yet she had surrendered herself to you willingly. I believe, thanks to you, she found herself at last. Well, she at last found herself once again. I reworded it. The people of Neverwinter were largely in favor of Arabeth's hanging. This troubled me greatly. Had they learned nothing from Fenthic's unjust execution, which had led Arabeth down her own dark path seeking vengeance? And Nasher could not be dissuaded. Arabeth reminded me of Kaliara. The difference is that Kali could not be redeemed. Arabeth realized her error, thanks to you, and tried to make amends. Yet it made no difference. I served the city for 20 years, as you know. What began as a punishment grew into a love for the city that had given me a second chance. Following Arabeth's execution, I went to Lord Nasher and demanded to be released from my service, or else I too should hang. To his credit, Lord Nasher heard my plea. He thanked me for my service to Neverwinter, and then he told me I was free to go, my debt paid in full. I contacted my spies seeking to track you down. Your exile weighed heavily on me. My spies could discover nothing of your whereabouts. No one knew what became of you. Some suggested you headed south to Waterdeep when the call for heroes went out, but that was never confirmed. Months passed. I began hearing rumors of a strange masked lady of the lake in Icewind Dale. All I had to go on was a hunch. The rumors said strangers had been turning up dead, washed ashore in Lonelywood. I came here as soon as spring arrived and the mountain pass opened up. And now, here you are. Tell me, my friend, what did happen? I'm still working out the answer to that myself. What do you mean? I'm going to tell Erringen how I was left to die after having your memories stripped away. I recall nothing after Neverwinter. It seems difficult to believe anyone could kidnap and near drown a hero as mighty as you. To strip someone of their memories is a cruel fate indeed. Well, now that you've found me, what next? I was born a slave. I have worked both sides of the law, often doing bad things for the sake of good. These things trouble me still, but there is no such conflict within me now. I will help you find the one who did this, I give you my word. Given the circumstances of how you found yourself in Icewind Dale, I would suggest Lonelywood as the most obvious place to begin looking for this masked lady. I hear rumors about a witch living in the woods there. It is possible she is responsible for your plight. However, we're trapped in Targus while the lockdown is in effect. Such a thing would pose no problem for me back in the south, where my contacts could arrange to smuggle us out. But here I am near powerless, a stranger in a strange land.
Don't just stand there. Follow me!
Oh heck. You two, come with me. Speaker Kemp has demanded your immediate presence at the council hall. Oh, hey. I was not expecting that. Okay. Guess we'll have to nap another time. What's this about? You've been asking too many questions. A Chultan and a newcomer claiming to be a great hero despite being dressed like something the cat dragged in caused quite a stir. Alright, fine, lead the way. Follow me. The council hall is in the center of town. Okay. Well, standing at the head of a small council table is an aging man with a greedy gleam in his eye. From the red, angry expression on his face, and those of the other councilors, it's clear that they've been arguing. So we have Counselor, we have Kemp, we've got Halder, and more councilors, and Aaron, of course.
Hear me. I must have words with you.
So these are the outsiders who have been asking questions. Aaron Gend, is it? New man? Speaker, this paladin claims to be the hero of Neverwinter. You recall the recent war between Neverwinter and Luskin. Stephen was instrumental in the former's victory. Hero of Neverwinter, huh? I say, you don't look much like a hero. How did you end up in Icewind Dale of all places? I'm uncertain, but I believe it has to do with the Masked Lady of the Lake. Not this again. I thought you said these outsiders were worth an audience, Kemp. I've heard this gobbledygook story from every drunk half-wit in 10 towns. There's no masked lady. The dire winter over Tourmaline is the work of the blue-skinned shaman. Then how do you explain the people of Lonelywood losing their minds? They speak of a witch of the wood. It's probably an angry tree spirit, a nymph. I think you mean a dryad. It doesn't bloody matter. How do we know these two clowns aren't in league with the shaman? Vagrant hero with no memory and a jungle dweller from the far side. Well, that sounds like a racist euphemism. Captain Halder winces. She picked it up too, I think. She leans in and whispers to Erengand. My apologies. These men are old and have little experience of anything outside the frozen far. Gand merely smiles. I've heard worse in my 20 years as spymaster for Neverwinter. Chult is indeed a land of jungles, though I've never been there. My mother was taken as a slave from a wealthy merchant of Kalimshan before I was born. Be that as it may, I've received enough reports to say with confidence that the Masked Lady of the Lake is very real, though to what extent she is connected to the bodies washing up in Lonelywood, or this Witch of the Wood, I do not know. Hey, Kemp seems like he's gotten a bit more reasonable over the years. I guess he's mellowed in 20 years. I kinda like that. Character growth is good. Kemp heaves a sigh. He's clearly just made an important decision. What I'm about to tell you must be kept within these walls. Wolfgar, the hero of Icewind Dale, left recently to investigate the situation in Tourmaline. He's not returned. Ooh, Wolfgar. You see now why I would prefer you don't go around asking questions. Once Wolfgar's failure is common knowledge, there will be panic in the streets. I can only hope the hero of Icewind Dale yet lives somehow. Drist, Dark Elf, and his companions Brunner Battlehammer and Canterbury are somewhere in the south, far from Icewind Dale. We must deal with this problem on our own. I'm sure you have questions. If by answering them I can assuage your curiosity, I will gladly oblige. Wow, he has mellowed over the years. I like that. Tell me about the blue-skinned shaman. He's an enigma. Reports from the Tourmaline refugees claim he led the monstrous invasion that followed the appearance of the dire winter. It is unusual for goblins and trolls to ally with humans. The last time was during Ekar Kessel's folly. Tell me about Wolfgar. Wolfgar, son of Bjornagar, is one of the greatest heroes of the north. He returned to Icewind Dale last year, following his adventures with the companions of the Hall. There's no man stronger, nor braver. Tell me more. I think I asked about the blue-skinned shaman, didn't I? Yes, I did. I did. Sometimes my attention span is not the greatest. I need to find the Masked Lady of the Lake. The road to Lonelywood is dangerous at the best of times. Who knows what horrors haunt the wilds? I'm sorry, but you must put these plans aside until the situation in Tourmaline is dealt with. Alright, well let me go to Tourmaline. You, if Wolfgar failed, what chance could you... You, if Wolfgar failed, what chance you could succeed? That was a little garbled, but okay. Forgive me again, speaker. Stephen's deeds match those of any hero you can name, save perhaps Elminster, or the Slayer of Mephistopheles. Yeah, Vipsania has got good press right now. You'd like Vipsania, guys. She could always steal another child. Allow us to leave the city so we might investigate the situation in Tourmaline. and if possible, rescue Wolfgar. Speaker Kemp is silent for a long while, appraising you. I am loath to send anyone to their death. You simply don't seem ready for such a dangerous undertaking. However, if you can present yourself with the appropriate equipment...
No.
Kemp, I must protest. We don't have the gold to spare to help outfit these chancellors. Let me finish. The council has no gold to spare. If you're as resourceful as you say you are, you should have no trouble earning some gold in town. Use it to equip yourself and return here. Once I judge you ready, you may leave Targus. There will of course be a substantial reward should you be successful in your quest to find Wolfgar. Now the council has many matters to attend to. I will see you when you return, armed to the teeth, and ready to take the fight to the Blue Shaman.
Fare thee well, then.
I believe the audience is finished. Please escort our guests out, Captain Holder. Well, that was fun. Well, that could have gone worse. Despite his quarrelsome nature, Kemp spoke sense. Without appropriate gear, I fear even you would struggle to survive outside the walls of this town. The road to Tourmaline is full of danger. Any suggestion on where to look for work? I think I overheard someone in Luskin Arms mention that Sylvain's private war operates Icewind enchantments. I believe he's looking for hired muscle. No doubt the job involves some magical danger of some sort. I think you can't handle it, sure. Ah, that explains the autosave. There's something else. When we spoke, I mentioned yours was the second friendly face seen in Icewind Dale. There's another at the Well-Pelt Inn. An old friend, Bard Sharwin. Perhaps she could be convinced to join us. I remember Sharwin. She wasn't my favorite companion, but she was fun. Perhaps I'll pay her a visit. There's nothing to lose in seeking potential allies. We'll need everything we can get.
Most certainly.
Lead on, my friend. We got a second guy. Yay, let's see. Let me know what you'll like, Aaron, again. A 9th level rogue. Well, that's nice. I like that a lot. Short sword and dagger. Neutral. Okay. Well, we've got ourselves a rogue. Show me your shit. Some... What? Okay. Should I steal his potions? I probably will. No offense, Aaron, but if you die, you'll get back up. If I die, the game's over. So I'm gonna steal your shit. There we go. Alright, so... I think it's I always feel guilty for short streams because I've been so sporadic lately, but I'm hoping to get more of a schedule in. I am gonna call it a night though, because I do have work in the morning, and I gotta do stuff. You know how it goes. I am also going to ban this guy, because I don't need best viewers. I like my viewers. There we go. Alright, well, it was fun. Thank you for hanging out. I think I'm gonna save here. We have a mission. We've looked around, we've met a friend, and done very little of actual note. But that's alright. That's alright. On the plus side, it's fun to see all the new people. Aaron and Sharwin too. If we can get Sharwin on board, that'll be fun. You know what? Maybe before I head out tonight, I will go to see if we can go find Sharwin. I might regret this. There might be some sort of plot thing that intercedes, but we can give it a shot. Let's see. I wouldn't necessarily mind having an army. Now, I still don't really like the streets here. You can't remember what Fuck the Priest was about? That was from Andarian's module series. What the fuck? Sanctum of the Archmage, where my character's love interest was the priest Orion, and it was heavily implied that we fucked in a cave. Now, what got kinky was that there's a very funny glitch, because you get there riding Pegasus, but riding Pegasi, And to dismount them properly, you have to be at full health. If you're not, the Pegasus doesn't go away. So the part of the scene where you and Orion, or possibly your other love interest, if you had a different love interest, end up sharing a bedroll, shall we say, looks a little odd when you've got all these Pegasi all around, and it starts looking a little bit kinky. So yeah, that's what Fuck the Priest was. So I keep it there because it makes me laugh. I can't think of a better subtitle. Alright, so I'm gonna try to see the wolf pelt in very briefly, and we'll get Sharwin, and then I'll call it a night. But it's nice to see familiar faces, I like that. And I like the books that remind me of the plots, because now I do remember quite a bit more of Daggerfall. Or Darkness over Daggerford. Daggerfall, that's an Elder Scroll thing. I kind of like how every ending of Daggerfall is true. Somehow, magically. The bad ending, the good ending, everything in between. So, let's see if we can find Sharwin. I know I read some of these. Let's see. Oh, The Wailing Death. I don't think I read that one. Let's read it. Let's find out how famous we are. Tech Priest Pie, hello, hello. You caught me as I was about to call it a night, but I got a little distracted, so it's going to be maybe a few minutes more. Let's read this book and see how I'm being remembered. The Wailing Death was a magical disease that ravaged the city of Neverwinter in Tarsak and Myrtle of the year of the wild magic 1372 DR. Most of the citizens of the city were dead or dying within a 10-day of the first reported case. Ah, you too? Well, that's good, that's good. The disease started in a region of the city known as Beggar's Nest, one of the poorer districts. Clerics and healers were dumbfounded at the disease's resilience to both mundane and magical healing, and hundreds were dead within days. The city was quickly quarantined to prevent the spread of the disease, and a call was put out to brave persons to receive free training in order to create a task force of adventurers loyal to the city, at least to gold. Especially meant to combat the plague in any way they could. At the same time, Lord Nasher Alagundar petitioned Kelvin Blackstaff Aronson to come up with an arcane cure. Nasher's right hand, Lady Arabeth de Tilmerand, spearheaded these efforts with the aid of her fiancé, Fenthic Moss, or Fenthic, and Deshthur Indelain, the leader of an expedition of Helmite priests from Helm's Hold, were the last people to enter the city before the quarantine. As the first and best of the newly trained adventurers gathered for a graduation ceremony, several strange mages teleported in with a small army of goblins and undead. Their intention was to steal away the reagents that Kelvin had sent to the city as the essential parts of the disease's cure. These reagents were the brain of an intellect devourer, the heart of a Yuan-Ti pureblood, a cockatrice feather, and a lock of a dryad's hair. The plans of the mages were foiled, but the reagent creatures all fled into the city at large. The cure was gone, and only one academy member out of the whole student body and faculty had survived the attack. The cure was gone, and most of the city's hopes with it. Due to mass riots, the remaining city militia was charged with peacekeeping, and the task of finding the reagent creatures fell to that lone survivor. They did not disappoint either. Soon the cure was back in the hands of the city, and several clues had turned up about a cult of the eye that might have been behind the attack on the academy. During the ritual, though, a further setback was suffered. Deshthur revealed himself and his priests to be agents of the cult of the eye. He stole the cure and fled through a portal back to Helm's Hold. He was followed, though, and the cure retaken by the same adventurer who had retrieved them in the first place. That adventurer was named the Hero of Neverwinter. The plague wasn't completely finished, however. The Hero of Neverwinter discovered that Commander Damas of Fort Ilkard had used blankets infected with the Wailing Death to infect the Elk tribe. The plague was completely cured, but it had done its job. It had weakened Neverwinter to such extent that Luskin declared war on the city and invaded. Only with the help of the Lord's Alliance and the Hero of Neverwinter did the city repel the Luskin army. Okay, I remember that. Alright. So what's in the other bookshelf? Anything good? Oh, you know what? I haven't talked to Aaron. Aaron,
Well met.
we should continue to explore Targus. The council won't be satisfied until we've proven to them that we can handle ourselves in wild wilderness. Let's discuss. Okay. Of course. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. Tell me about yourself, Aaron. Aaron raised an eyebrow. You already know much about me, my friend. I was born in Kalimsham, a slave. I escaped and later served the pirate Randall the Red before Lord Nasher slew him and offered to spare my life if I swore allegiance to the city of Neverwinter. What happened after? As you might recall, I joined the Thieves Guild in Neverwinter to eliminate their leader, Kaliara, only to fall in love with her. I gave her an ultimatum, leave her life of criminality behind or face justice. A fight ensued, and I was forced to kill her. You chose duty over love, yet you claim to have left Nasher's service over my banishment. Aaron's expression is unreadable, but you see him flinch ever so slightly. This is different. Thieves' Guild was a blight on the city. Kaliara had to be stopped, regardless of my personal feelings. I'm not sure there's a worse place to be caught between love and duty. I think of Kali often. It might have been, but we make our choices, and we must live with the consequences. I want to discuss Arabeth's execution. Aaron winces. A delicate subject, my friend. As I mentioned, I advocated for mercy. The same mercy Lord Nasher showed me when he spared my life all those years ago. But in the eyes of Lord Nasher and the city folk, Arabeth's crimes were unforgivable. I've been meaning to ask something. Please forgive me if this question is too personal. I know Lady Arabeth surrendered to you during your fight with Margram's sanctuary. Why did you spare her? Well, we'll go with the romantic option. I loved her. Truly, then her execution must have cut you deeply, more than anyone knew. I'm sorry, my friend. To have saved the city and then endured such a tragedy would break the strongest of us. Neverwinter did not deserve you. What's the situation in Neverwinter after Nasher exiled me? As you might imagine, the banishment of the city's hero was not received well. There were elements in the city that argued that perhaps Nasher's time has ended. You ought to be made Lord Ruler. I fear this only hardened Nasher's heart against you. Perhaps if you hadn't vanished from the face of Faerun, word of your continued adventures had gotten back to Neverwinter, Nasher might have reconsidered, but your disappearance made it easy for him to persist in his folly. Now we must find out who made you disappear, and why. Do you regret leaving Neverwinter and coming here? My only regret is my failure to bring a warm enough cloak. As you know, Neverwinter's climate is mild, even in the darkest part of deep winter. Cold here, it is something else, truly. I feel you there. Joking aside, I made my choice, and now I stand by it. I came here to find you, and now that I have, I will see that your memories are restored, and that you have the answers from whoever did this to you. I owe you that much. Thank you. Alright. I do like talking to my friends, and it's good to see. So the bookshelf doesn't have anything. So Sharwin's supposed to be somewhere here. I think. Goodness. Hermelane? Missing Council. Icewind Ballad. Staying out. Wolf Pulp. Okay, and let's see if we can find. And now I have Aaron and my team. I am glad to have him on my team, but where can we find Sharwin? I didn't see her. I don't see her. Maybe the
Well met.
innkeeper knows. Hello again. Always happy to serve. What'll it be? I understand there's a bard named Sharwin staying here. Ah, the Lady Sharwin is in her room. If you wait here a moment, I'll ask Beertrude to fetch her. Blah, blah, blah. I cannot speak. Alright, so theoretically, Sharwin will be somewhere here. I guess. I don't know. Where is she? Oh, there she is, right behind me.
Well met.
Stephen, it is you. I heard a rumor that the hero of Neverwinter had been spotted in Targos, but I dismissed it as nonsense. Why would you turn up here of all places? Then I spotted Aaron Gend, and I dared hope. You know, in the parallel universe, Arabeth's redemption, Sharwin and Aaron Gend ended up romancing each other.
Might we chat for a moment?
Why did you disappear? I know you and Lord Nasher fell out over Arabeth's execution, but it was though you vanished off the face of Faerun after your banishment. It took me quite by surprise. I grew restless and left Neverwinter soon after. What about your mother? She was sick. My mother passed away just before I left. You recall the celestial elixir you helped me create to cure bone rot. I rid her of the disease, but a heart condition claimed her soon after. At least she didn't die alone. I was with her. I'd like to think we made peace before the end. When the call for heroes went out from Waterdeep, I traveled to the City of Splendors with Dalen, Linu, and Tomi. We descended the yawning portal into Undermountain. I was confident we would cut a path straight to the source of the evil beneath the city. Sharwin trails off. The brash, confident bard you remember seems to have disappeared, replaced with a woman haunted by uncertainty. Ah, instead I was hit by an arrow while chasing a beholder. I died in that place, Stephen. I would have remained dead, forgotten, unloved, another grisly ornament for Halaster's halls. What happened? The slayer of Mephistopheles brought me back. I tried to thank him, but he turned away with scarcely a word. Okay, clearly Vipseni bullied her into lying about the whole situation. The look in her eyes said all that needed to be said. I was weak. No, actually, that does sound like Vipsania. No use, sir. I fled back up to the yawning portal. Tell me more about the Slayer of Mephistopheles. She cut a bloody swathe down to the third level of Undermountain. Nothing could stand in her way. After rescuing Halaster, she defeated the Drow matriarch who called herself the Valsharess and traveled to the Nine Hells. She and Mephistopheles fought on the very streets of Waterdeep. At least I think so. Actually, she decided to be Queen of Hell, but I'm not pissing off the Queen of Hell, so I'm just gonna lie. Sharwin shakes her head. The Slayer's exploits should be the stuff of 1,000 songs, but something about him was wrong. I fear even to speak her name. She scared me. Dying terrified me. I haven't felt safe since. It doesn't sound like the Sharwin I know. We all change. Moment by moment we are destroyed and rebuilt into different versions of ourselves. With every decision we make, every experience we undergo. I've lost everyone who was once close to me. I almost lost me. You remember I told you I wanted to be a famous bard? I was impetuous, and more than a little arrogant. It isn't the artist that's important, really. It's the art. The lyrics of a song that can transport the listener through time to become, even fleetingly, another version of themselves. A parable that reveals a truth that lasts in eternity. This is what it's about. And this is what it's important. I wanted to escape Neverwinter, escape Waterdeep, escape the fear that I felt deep within, ever since that day in Undermountain. Icewind is a land of outcasts, but also of legends. A place that welcomes anonymity. A place where I can write my masterpiece. What about you, Stephen? Why are you here at the frozen place at the end of the world? I'm going to tell her what happened. Someone did this to you? Why? An enemy, perhaps? Someone we crossed during our time in Neverwinter? But our enemies are all dead. Deshthur, Malgrim, Morag. Makes no sense. Sherman takes a deep breath. Let me travel with you, Stephen. I've hidden for too long. I'll lend you my songs and my magic, just like before. I'll help you find whoever did this to you. And in the meantime, I will compose my greatest work, Ballad of Icewind. Yes, join me. I'd love to join you, but you know the saying three's a crowd? Come find me at the Luskin Arms when you're less spoiled for company. Shoot. Okay, so I can only have two at a time. I'm gonna have to think about that. Who I want to travel with. I mean, I really like Kanuki. I think he's cool. Aaron found me first and knows what's going on, but Sharwin is always fun. So, I'm gonna have to think about this. I think I'm gonna save for now, though, and I can decide what I want to do next time. Dilemma. Alright. Let's exit main menu. It is cool to have some options now, though. Alright, so let's see who I'm gonna raid. Um, Let me find my window where my fucking stream manager is. Alright. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. I had fun. Um, let's see. Who am I watching? AOC is playing Baldur's Gate. I have rated them recently, but that seems like a good like transition from old D&D to new D&D. Yeah. So that might be where we raid, but let's see who else is on. iZombie is playing Wild Arms 2. Have I rated her recently? I don't think I have. Maybe I'll read iZombie, but I definitely recommend watching Effector of Change because Effector of Change is very fun. Let's see who else is around. Jenna's online is playing Nancy Drew. The Psychosis Gamer is playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. Interesting. Let's raid Eyes on B. She has frogs. Sometimes she shows the frogs. Alright, so we will set up to raid. I'm going to wish you guys good night. Thank you for hanging out, as I said.